welcome back. Today's video is going to be a full face of new makeup, new hyped up makeup. I have here in front of me an entire tub of a bunch of new makeup. I have Ofra, I have Milk Cosmetics, I have some new things from HUDA Beauty, Buxom, a ton of different brands here in this video. So if that sounds good and you want to see me testing out some new makeup, let's get started. Alright guys, so some of the items I will be testing out today is I have from Ofra their new Rodeo Drive Primer. They actually just are celebrating the anniversary of Rodeo Drive, so they have some new Rodeo Drive products. So we have the primer and then also the lip gloss to test out today, as well as a face mist, which I'm pretty excited about. Milk Makeup sent over their new Flex Stick Foundation, so we'll be trying that out, as well as the Flex Highlighters. I also have some new lashes from HUDA Beauty. I have the Boss Babe Betty palette here from Buxom Cosmetics and a few other products to test out. So why don't we go ahead and get started. So I am first going to try out the primer. So again, this is from Ofra. It's called the Rodeo Drive Primer, and I'm just going to be testing this one out. It is supposed to be a very luminous primer, so I'm just going to go in very sparingly. I'm actually going to put it on my hand first. So here's what it kind of looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply it on my face because I'm worried with it being so shimmery. Yeah, it kind of has so much glow to it, but I don't want to like apply it everywhere to my face just yet. I kind of wanted to see what it looked like on its own. It definitely has a tackiness to it, but it doesn't look as shiny as I thought it was going to. I'm going to go ahead and put some over on this side as well and kind of just work it into the skin. I actually have on today my Barefoot Dreams cardigan, even knowing it's literally the middle of summertime. I've been living in this thing. I got it at the Nordstrom sale and I waited so long to get this and I was like, do I need it? Do I need it? And I finally purchased one this year. And oh my god, you guys, like I've been living in it. It's so cozy. So here is what the primer is looking like. It definitely gave a tad bit of luminosity, but nothing too crazy like I thought it was going to. It definitely feels a bit tacky on the skin too, like it's gonna give a nice grip to our foundation. So Milk Makeup actually sent over their new Flex Stick Foundation, which I'm pretty excited about. I don't typically love stick foundations, but I do have a few in my collection that I do like. So I am gonna be giving these a try. So they sent over 4 different shades. I have light beige, buff, shell, and then also vanilla. So I'm going to kind of see which shade is going to work best for me. So I think looking at the ones that they did send over, I think the ones that are going to work best for me is actually the shade shell, and then also this one right here, which is in the shade buff. I think those two look about the best. The other two I'm not thinking are going to be the best match. So I'm going to try out the buff one first. I think that one looks the best. And then if I need to mix it with the other one, I will. So I'm just going to kind of put up a little bit of product. And I am going to go ahead and just drag this on my skin. Okay, so it actually doesn't feel, sometimes when you put on a stick foundation, it feels very like you're dragging it, you know what I mean? This doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're just kind of gliding it on your skin, which I like. It doesn't feel too dry yet. So I am going to actually just apply this all over. I have a sponge to test it out with, and then I also have a beauty blender, so I'll kind of see which one works best for me. I'm going to run it down my neck a little bit. So I'm going to try it first with my sponge and just go ahead and work this into my skin, and then if we need to use a brush we can as well. Sometimes with stick foundations I feel like they blend out better with brushes, but this one looks like it's actually blending out okay with my sponge. It does look like this color is actually a pretty good match for me. It's not seeming too hard to work with either. Sometimes again with stick foundations, like they kind of just set really fast in your face, but I do feel like it's blending out pretty easily here on the skin. So there's the side with the sponge. I feel like it looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and try it out though with a brush and see how it blends out with the brush. This is just the Del 10 Kabuki brush. I really like this one. And we'll kind of try it out that way on this side and see how we like it with a brush as well. So with a brush, I definitely feel like it's a little bit more coverage, you can tell, than with the sponge. It looks a little bit more sheared out. I actually like both finishes. I don't think that either one of them looks bad on either side. We definitely got decent coverage out of this one. I'd call it more of like a medium coverage, I'd say, because it definitely covered a bit of my redness, but you can still see like my moles and such peeking through. So I am gonna go ahead and just add a tiny bit more to a few areas of my face that I feel like I need a little bit extra coverage, and see if we can't build it up a tiny bit. But so far I actually really like the finish of it. So when I'm looking at my face up close, it looks like on my nose I have like a little bit of foundation that's like kind of biled up. I think you guys can kind of tell. I'm not really sure if that's the primer or the foundation that's doing that, but it's definitely like sitting weird on my nose. But other than that, my face looks really good. I'm gonna try and put some concealer on my nose and see if we can help that. They did send over some of the Flex concealers. I've never tried this before. It's not new, but it's new to me because I've never tried it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the concealer a try. So this again is their Flex concealer. And this shade right here, don't see, okay, so this is the shade Cream right here. They sent over a few shades, and I'm gonna try this one out and see if this one matches. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to my under eyes. I feel like it's quite a small applicator. It's not really getting very much product on there, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try really quick on my under eyes first, and then I'll go ahead and blend it out. I'm gonna just do one eye at a time because I'm not exactly sure how this one blends, but we'll go ahead and just apply this really quickly. I do feel like it's blending in nicely with the foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and run it over my eye to kind of correct the redness that I have there. But it definitely looked like it did a good job of brightening my under eye. I'm gonna go ahead and add some to the other eye, and then like I said, I'll add some to my nose as well. The coverage looks pretty good, but I don't know that I love this applicator. It's just kind of weird. It feels a little bit like you're dragging, kind of like what I was talking about with the foundation. It feels a little bit like I'm dragging it on my skin, but I like the actual coverage of the concealer. It seems really nice. Again, I'm not really sure if that's the foundation or the primer, but we're gonna have to just try to make it work for now. I'm gonna go in with some translucent powder. This is a newer one to me. I have tried it 2 times now, I think, but this is from CoverGirl. This is their TRUBLEND Minerals Loose Mineral Powder, and this one is in translucent. I have been using it to set my under eyes, and so far I do really like it. So what I've been doing is just kind of tapping it into the cap here. The sifter on it is okay, but I just prefer putting it in the cap. It's just easier for me. And I'm gonna actually grab it on my sponge. I'm gonna put a little bit on my hand and go ahead and just set my under eyes really quickly. It does have a bit of almost like a tint to it. It says that it's translucent, but when I put it on, I do feel like, if you can see, it kind of does a bit of like a yellowy tint. I don't mind it. I actually like the color of it, but I don't feel like it's fully translucent because I do think it has a bit of a tint to it when you apply it. Okay, but as far as my face goes, it doesn't feel like too tacky. I think I'm still going to go ahead and set it just because that's what I always do with my foundations, but it doesn't feel like something that you would necessarily have to go ahead and set. But I am going to try out a new loose powder that I got. This one is from Physicians Formula. It's their Mineral Wear Loose Powder. I'm going to give this one a test and see how I like this as my all-over face powder. It has a really odd applicator. It's like this silicone sponge applicator. It's very strange, but I'm going to go ahead and just try it out. Yeah, that's very weird. Like, it feels hard, and like, why would you want to poke your face with that? I really don't understand this applicator. Okay, so instead of using that, I'm going to put some out into the lid here. And I'm going to just use a brush because I feel like I don't really understand that applicator. I'm just going to use this big fluffy brush and use that to set my face. This actually looks a little bit darker than it does in the thing, so let's hope that it doesn't change color of my foundation. But I'm going to go ahead and just use this really quickly just to set my entire face before we go ahead and apply bronzer. I like to do this especially in this cheek area, because if I don't do that and I apply it on a foundation that's a little bit sticky, then it will actually kind of look a little muddy. But this foundation seems to be setting to where you definitely wouldn't need to set it, but I'm going to do just a light layer just to be safe, to make sure that our other powders blend smoothly. I actually really like the feel of this. It does feel very lightweight, and again, it did a really good job of just like setting really quickly. I didn't have to use a lot of powder, so I do really like this. I just don't love that little sponge thing that came with it, but it seems like you get a lot of product in here too. Like, it seems like nice packaging. I'll just go ahead and put this back into the product right here and then just twist it back up, but I think this is pretty cool actually. Okay, so now looking at our base up close, it definitely looks nice. I'm loving the finish of this foundation, which I'm actually pretty surprised about. I didn't know if I'd love it with it being a stick foundation, but so far it looks nice. I think the concealer looks nice. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows as well as add some bronzer because I do not have a new bronzer to test out. But then after that, we will move on to the eyes, which I'm excited to try this palette out. So let me go ahead and do my brows, my bronzer, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. I went ahead and did my brows. I used the brow pencil from Joah. This one is called the Brow Down to Me brow pencil. I really like this one. So I used that and the Omega bronzer from Marc Jacobs. And now we're gonna move on, I think, to the eyes. So we're gonna use the Boss Babe Betty palette, which is a new release here from Buxom Cosmetics. So here is what the inside of the palette looks like. It's a very fall tone palette. I feel like it has a lot of like warm tones in here. So I'm kind of excited to try this out, and I got my cardigan on, you know, so get some like fall vibes maybe. So I am going to be testing this one out. I am going to be using my brushes that I have in collaboration with Dalton Beauty. So I will be using these on my eyes. If you guys do not know, I did launch my own brush collection with Dalton. There are 8 brushes to the collection, and I'll be using them all, probably all of them, I would say, in this look that we're going to be doing. I'll be using these to get the eye look. So I know you guys always ask what brushes I'm using. So we're going to use these and the new Buxom palette. I'm first going to go into the shade Invite Only right here in the palette. I'm going to pick that one up on the Prepping Perfector, which is this big old brush right here. And I'm going to use that one to actually just go into my crease first. So I am just going to stamp it on and then actually just begin to blend this shade into my crease. I love these orangey shades because I really think that they're just perfect for your first color, just to really give a base to the eye. And I love this brush because it's so large that it is able to just blend so quickly. So I'm just, like I said, just going to go in with this shade first, blend it all over the lid, and then we'll kind of start to build it up. Okay, so after we've got that into the crease, I'm going to go in with my Crease Creator brush, and I am going to go into the shade Work, which is a red tone shade right here, and I'm going to use that one in my crease. I kind of wish there was like one more matte maybe that wasn't so deep, because I feel like this is kind of a deep one to go from this, you know, to this. I kind of wish there was like an in-between. But nevertheless, we're going to try it. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stamp this on my outer V. I'm going to begin to work in circular motions and then windshield wiper, and just go ahead and blend this all over the lid. It's also not as intense as I thought it was. Like, I thought it would be a little bit more intense as it looks in the pan, but actually on the eye, it doesn't look so red as it does in the pan. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and take the Transition Transformer. I'm going to go into the shade Unapologetic, which is this deep brown shade right here. And I'm really just going to further deepen up the crease. I'm just going to mostly do this on the outer crease, though, because I don't want anything too intense. So I'm kind of just going to lightly put the shade right here on the outer part of the lid and begin to blend it in. Okay, so now for the shimmer, I think I'm actually gonna go in with the shade Crazy Rich, this like really pretty like yellowy gold shade right there. I think I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna go in with the shadow shader brush, and I'm actually going to try this first without wetting my brush, and then I think I'm gonna wet my brush, because normally with my shimmers, I like my brush wet. Actually, I'm gonna do that first because it doesn't really look like we're getting much payoff. So I'm gonna actually just spritz my brush with some Fix Plus, and then we'll go ahead and try it now. Yeah, that definitely gives a little bit more. Still doesn't seem super pigmented. It doesn't seem like super shimmery as I thought it would be. I'm gonna try it with my finger and see if we get a little bit more payoff that way. Sometimes with your finger, it gets a little bit more, I don't know. It has a tiny bit more shimmer with my finger, but I still feel like I kind of want a little bit more. What do you guys think? I don't know. I like the way it looks, but up close, like, it doesn't look very shimmery. Like, I feel like it's not picking up the shimmer that I thought that it would, even when I was spraying my brush. So I did leave my inner corner kind of blank. I'm gonna actually take some of the shade All Access right here, and I'm gonna add that one to my inner corner. Now, this one almost seems like a different formula. Like, this one seems a lot more buttery than the Crazy Rich shade. That one has, like I said, a little bit of grit to it. So I'm wondering if this one is going to be a little bit more of a color. Yeah, like, look at how much more brighter that one looks than this one. Interesting. I'm going to kind of work this shade into the other one, but this one definitely has, I didn't even spray that, and it looks so much more shimmery than the other shade. That's kind of weird. It's definitely a different formula. The other gold one, like I said, has those flecks in it and it doesn't seem as buttery as this one. This one definitely has more payoff. You can just see even without using any spray or anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and dust away this fallout because we did get quite a bit of fallout on this side. All in all, I think that's pretty how it's coming out. I'm gonna go ahead now and do a little bit of work here on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna go into that shade Invite Only, and I'm just gonna work that onto my lower lash line and really just kind of smoke that one out. Once we have that one smoked out right there, I'm actually going to go ahead and apply some liner. And then I'm also going to put on these new lashes. So these ones are from Huda Beauty. These are the Lottie number 19 lashes. I want to try these ones out. I think I'm going to do them off camera though because I hate applying lashes on camera. I'm so bad at it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these new lashes and we'll see how this eye look is looking after the lashes. So we are back. We've got our lashes on. These are definitely some dramatic lashes, but I really like them. I think they're really pretty and I think they really complement this eye look a lot. So next we are going to move on to the blush that we're going to be trying out. So this is from Ofra and this is a new blush in Cosmo, which I am excited to go ahead and test out. I don't think I've mentioned so far, but I am an affiliate with Ofra. So any of these products that you are seeing that you like from Ofra, if you want to test them out, my code is just Makeupmolly on their website and it gets you a percentage off. So we are going to go ahead and try out Cosmo. Now this one looks really pink in the pan, but when I swatched it, it looked a little more sheer. So I'm kind of gonna hope that it isn't gonna be too intense. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It has a little bit of a like pinkiness to it, but it's not too intense. So I'm just gonna kind of apply this to the apples here. I'm using this new brush from Wonder Beauty. I really like it. It's their duo brush. So this is a bronzer brush and then we have a blush brush. So I'm gonna really just kind of work this in and then I'm excited to next try out those highlights from Milk. So the blush is definitely quite a bit pigmented, but I kind of like a good blush, so I don't mind it. So that was the Cosmo blush, and now we're gonna go on to the highlights from Milk. So they did send over 4 different highlights. These again are the Flex highlights. They have the nice little Flex emblem in there, which I think is really cute. So this one here is the iced highlights. They have the one glazed right here, which is going to be your deeper skin tone. And then I also have this one here, which is in Blitzed. That one's really pretty. It's kind of like a pinky champagne. And then I also have the last one here, which is really, really gorgeous. This one here is Lit. So I'm debating between Lit and then also iced. I think I'm leaning more towards iced for this look. I still want to try out the other ones, but I think for this look, I think that this one would look best. For a highlighting brush, I'm going to use my Morphe M501. This is my favorite highlighting brush. And hope that we like, oh, yes, I'm going to like this. I already know. That's really pigmented. Look at how pretty. Oh, I love. I have been finding so many good highlights lately. Look at how nice that is. It doesn't look like too intense. And it doesn't look like unnatural either. Like if I'm looking at you here, it's picking up a little bit of that texture there, but nothing too crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and build it up a tiny bit more right here. But I actually really, really like that. This is pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and do my other side here as well. Kind of do the C motion there. We'll put a little bit on our nose. Our nose, by the way, is still looking a little bubbly right here. So I don't know exactly what happened there. It looks better than it did earlier, but it still looks a little off. Put a little bit on my chin. Why not highlight this little guy here that decided to pop up the other day? Not that I really want to highlight it, but you know, it's been hanging out here for a few days now. But the highlight to me looks really, really nice. The formula feels nice. It doesn't look like too heavy, I don't think, on the skin. I think it's really, really pretty. I do really like this. I kind of want to pop a little bit of it in the inner corner too, just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. So I'm going to take the Detailed Dazzler from my brush collection and just pop like a tiny bit of this just to the inner corner, kind of just to give us a little something there. There we go. Okay, now we got a little bit of something going on, but this one is so pretty. I really, really like that. All right, we just got 2 more products left. So we have the Rodeo Drive Body Mist. I just had to actually shake this up really good because it was kind of all sitting at the bottom. But this is the Face and Body Mist, again, from Ofra. And we're going to try this out. When I opened it up earlier, the spritzer looked a little intense. I'm kind of worried that this is going to like mess up our makeup. But I'm going to try and spritz some out first. Okay, no, it has a bit of a fine mist. So I'm going to go ahead, spray some to our face. It's definitely one of those ones that's going to leave splashes, which I don't love. Let me go ahead and get my sponge here and kind of try and put those in. Do you see how it's like kind of leaving splashes all over our face? That's the setting sprays that bother me because I hate when it like messes up your makeup, and I don't want to worry about that with like a setting spray, you know? So I don't know that that's going to be one that I love. I might have to just mix it up more and see. But yeah, I can even tell that it's like even not really necessarily blending it out. It definitely gave us a glow to our skin, a little bit more of a glow. But I'm not a fan of all those little droplets everywhere. I don't know though, because it did make my skin definitely look really glowy. Like from over here, like even down here, like it made my skin look so luminous. I don't know, that might be one that I have to just like continue to try out. I'll let you guys know how I'm feeling about it after a while. But last thing we are gonna do is go ahead and try the Rodeo Drive Lip Gloss from Ofra, and then we will be all set with this makeup look. All right, so I'm just gonna use this one from Motive Cosmetics. It's in Dusty Rose, and apply this first before I go in with the gloss. Kind of like drew my lips in a little bit too, so give it a little bit more of a plumping effect. But now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the Rodeo gloss. Ooh, that is definitely a golden gloss. I'm just gonna kind of apply it all over our lips. I really like this color. I think it's pretty. The smell of these too, you guys, if you haven't tried these glosses, I think they're so good. They smell so good too. Definitely has the Rodeo Drive look. It's a bit of a gold, but not like too gold. All right, and here is our final look using all of this new makeup, hyped up makeup. What do you guys think of this look? I actually really love the way it turned out. It's definitely giving me fall vibes and like ready for like a pumpkin drink and pumpkin patch. Definitely fall vibes with this entire look, like I said, but I think it's really, really pretty. I love how glowy my skin ended up being. I do really, really like this eye look. I wasn't super, I will say, impressed with this palette. I did like it. I love the way that this eye look came out, but I didn't love this gold shade, so I kind of have to try to continue to try it out, see what I think about it. But the inner corner shade I think was really pretty. The mattes were really nice in this one. The Flex highlights that I did try from Milk Cosmetics was really, really pretty. I'm actually pretty impressed too with the stick foundation. I didn't know that I'd love it, but I think my skin actually looks really good. The primer I thought was okay too. It wasn't too like luminous, so I do want to continue to try this out with different foundations too. The concealer I do like. I think it did a nice job of brightening my under eyes. They don't seem like cakey or anything like that. The lashes I'm loving. I think these lashes are so, so pretty. The blush was a little bit pigmented, like a little bit more pigmented than I thought it was going to be, but it looks really pretty, I think, on the skin. The gloss is good. The spray I'm kind of iffy about because it did leave those like splotches on my face, but the actual glow that it gave me I think is really, really pretty, so I kind of have to play with that one as well. I'll come back and let you guys know my final thoughts on all of these products, but you will have to comment down below what you guys think of this makeup look. If you are planning on trying any of these products, I know a few of them have just released, so let me know down in the comment section. Give this one a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.